This is chapter number 16, Development of Organisms and Continuity of Life. We were looking at reproduction in humans. In today's lesson, we will go through the female reproductive system. We will see different structures and their functions. Then we will see the three processes which are involved in the reproduction. That is the fertilization, implantation, and menstruation in females. Let's discuss the sexual reproduction in animals by reading about the gamete formation in female reproductive system. As we have already discussed that sexual reproduction in animals involves gamete production and fertilization. Gamete production occurs in the reproductive organs called gonads. The female reproductive system is responsible for ovum production, that is the female gamete, and it is also where fertilization takes place. And after the fertilization, the zygote undergoes mitosis to form embryo. Then this female reproductive system is also responsible for protection and nourishment of the embryo till it is born. So these are the two ages which is important to know. One is the puberty, which is the stage of the beginning of sexual maturity. In girls, this age is around 12 to 15, while in boys, it is about 13 to 17. Keep in mind that these ages may vary from individual to individual depending upon their ethnicity and their regions. Menopause, on the other hand, occurs in females. This is the age between 45 to 50. What happens during this age is that the ovaries stop producing eggs. The menstrual periods stop and there is no more formation of the female gamete. Reason for menopause is the deficiency or drop in the sex hormones which are produced by the female reproductive organs. Let's discuss the frontal view of female reproductive organ. You can see the kidneys here, which are bringing the urine from it to the urinary bladder through ureter. It is important that we discuss the urinary system in both male and female bodies, because in male, the reproductive organs or reproductive system is quite closely related to the urinary system. On the other hand, in female, if you can see the diagram carefully, the ureter is bringing the urine from the kidney and is attaching itself to the urinary bladder, which has a separate opening outside the body. On the other hand, in males, we saw that the ureter were joining the sperm duct and they had a common opening that was called urethra. On the other hand, in the female, it is not like that. The urinary outlet, the bladder outlet is different from the reproductive organs, which is we are going to read now. The reproductive organs in females are two, that are the ovaries. If you can see in the diagram, they are shown in red coloration. They are being labeled to. These ovaries are responsible for formation of female gamete and also for the formation of female sex hormones, progesterone and estrogen. These ovaries will produce the female gamete, which will travel through this tube-like structure. This is called oviduct or fallopian tubes. Oviduct is the duct or a small tube, which is also known as fallopian tubes. This will carry the female gamete from the ovaries and will bring it into the uterus. This is the structure of the uterus in the center, which will have a thick wall, which is called endometrium. The wall of the uterus is called endometrium, or you can simply call it uterine lining. This uterus is opening to the outside by a opening called vagina, which is the birth canal. Also, this opening is called vulva, which is leading to external reproductive organs in females. This is the side view of the female reproductive system. Here you can see that the ovaries are being shown. Only one ovary is shown here in this diagram since it's a left side view. So the ovary will be producing the female gamete, which would travel into the oviduct or fallopian tube and will go into the uterus. Keep in mind that it is the oviduct where the fertilization happens. Fertilization is the fusion of male and female gamete. So the female gamete is produced by the ovary, which will travel through this duct, which is called oviduct or fallopian tube. It is here that the sperm will fuse with the egg and will cause fertilization and formation of zygote. So once the zygote is formed in the oviduct, it will start moving towards the uterus. All the other parts of the female reproductive system are being labeled. They are very easy to understand. So these are the different parts of the female reproductive system along with their functions. Ovaries are the organs that produce egg, as I have told you before. These also release hormones called estrogen and progesterone. Ovaries are 2 in number. One ovum is released every 4 weeks from alternate ovaries. So you have to keep in mind that only one egg will be released by one ovary per month, and they will take turns. One ovary will produce one egg at 1 month, and in the next month the other ovary will release the egg. Hormones for the development of secondary sexual characteristics are progesterone and estrogen, which will lead to the formation of secondary sexual characteristic in females. Oviduct or fallopian tubes are the tubes that carry ovum away from the ovary, where fertilization occurs at about 1/3 of the way along the oviduct. Oviduct are lined with cilia, which help to move the egg along the duct. So if you see here in this diagram, this duct will be shown in the later slide, where you will be able to see hair-like cilias, which will help the egg to move forward. Uterus is where the embryo attaches itself, organ where the embryo develops during pregnancy. During birth, the contraction of the walls will expel the baby. So this is the lining of the uterus, which has muscles which will contract and relax during the delivery phase, where the baby will be expelled out of the body. Its walls are made up of 2 layers. On the outside, strong muscles, and on the inside there would be soft tissue containing very small blood vessels. It also contains involuntary muscles. Cervix is the ring of muscles that connects uterus to vagina, supplies vagina with mucus. It's actually the neck of the uterus. Vagina, on the other hand, is the part which receives the male gamete, which receives the sperms. It is muscular and stretchable and forms part of the birth canal during childbirth. Here in the oviduct, you can see the cilia, which are helping the egg to move forward from oviduct to the uterus. So this is the pathway of ovum of female gamete. You can see that they were produced in the ovary, 1 egg, 1 female gamete per month. It will travel into the oviduct, where it will get fertilized if the male gamete is present, and after that it will start moving towards uterus, where the implantation will take place. Implantation is nothing but the implant of the embryo to the uterus wall. Uterus wall is also called endometrium. And if the egg is not fertilized, in case if there is no sperm in the oviduct, or sperms are not there even ahead of it, fertilization would not be taking place. And if no fertilization takes place, the egg is discarded. Here in this diagram, you are being shown what is happening inside the ovary. So this is the part of the ovary where you can see there are follicle cells. These are the cells in the ovary that surrounds and nourish the eggs. On the other hand, a primary follicle is a follicle which consists the potential egg cells surrounded by a layer of smaller follicle cells. So this is all happening in the ovary of the females, where there are many cells called follicle cells. These follicle cells are surrounding each egg and providing nourishment to it. Primary follicle will be consisting of the potential egg cell, which will mature into an egg. If you can see in the next diagram, I have written Graafian follicle. This is the mature follicle with female gamete in it. This is haploid. If you can see in the diagram, I have labeled it. A Graafian follicle is a mature follicle containing the haploid egg cell and a fluid-filled space. This fluid-filled space will stay here while in the next stage, if you can see, the egg is being released. This egg release is called ovulation. Ovulation is the process of egg release from the ovaries. The rest of the follicle which is left behind will form corpus luteum. This is the structure of corpus luteum, which is formed only after the release of the egg. If fertilization does not take place, corpus luteum breaks down and is discarded. Here in this animation, I have tried to show you the process of fertilization. If you can see that the egg was produced in the ovary, it travels through the oviduct, and where the sperm met with the egg or fused with it and formed a structure called zygote. This zygote will travel towards the uterus and will implant itself into the wall of the uterus. Here again I have tried to show you the same. The egg is released from the egg and it is picked up by the funnel of oviduct. Egg moved along the oviduct by hair-like cilias, and then the sperm will fertilize the egg in the oviduct. This fertilized egg is now formed into zygote. Zygote will keep moving towards the uterus and it will implant itself in the uterus lining or in the endometrium. Here you can see that the embryo is formed. The zygote is the cell which is formed, a single cell which is formed by the fusion of male and female gamete. If you remember, gametes are haploid, so this zygote is formed by the fusion of two haploid cells. Zygote itself is diploid. So now zygote will undergo repeated mitosis. If you can see, one cell is divided into two and then into four and so on. The ball of the cell which is formed is now labeled as embryo, and embryo will attach itself to the uterine lining or the endometrium. This lining is quite spongy and is richly supplied with blood capillaries. In this diagram too, I have shown you the same concept, that the ovum is released from the ovary. It will be fertilized by one sperm. Rest of the sperms will be discarded. This fertilized egg will be transformed into zygote. A zygote will go on multiple mitosis, leading to formation of ball of cells, which would be called as embryo, and then this embryo will attach itself, implant itself in the uterine lining or the endometrium. So what happens if the fertilization does not take place? I will show you in this lecture that what if this zygote is not formed, and what if the fertilization process does not happen. Of course, there will be no formation of zygote, then there would be no implantation into the endometrium wall. In this animation, I have shown you how the egg is fertilized and is implanted into the uterine lining. Here in this diagram, I have shown you what if the egg is not fertilized. So it will be produced, it will be traveling towards oviduct, will not be fertilized, and this will be discarded if it is not fertilized along with the wall of the endometrium. So this endometrium wall is only there to implant the embryo. So when the embryo is not formed, this endometrium wall will start to shed off, which is called menstruation in females. This happens on monthly basis. When the egg is not fertilized, the wall of the endometrium and the wall of the uterus will start to shed off and will be discarded along with the egg.